Regan Tamahere with us today, Executive Lead Strategy and Innovation at Turuki Healthcare. And they've emerged as a standout finalist in the 2 Degrees Auckland Business Awards, recognised for its kaupapa Māori approach and excellence across community contribution, customer experience and innovation. Regan, mihi anei ka koe, te rangatira. Good to catch up with you again, brother. Ngā mihi.
Ai, tēnā koe te whanangi e teo.
Tēnā koe.
Koutou nei, whakarongo mai nei.
Ka pai. Good to talk with you again. And great to see you working for Turuki. That's where I go to get my health needs tended to. And as I get older, I guess becoming increasingly significant, but we won't go into that too much. It's great to know that Turuki is actually the only health clinic that's been named across all 3 Auckland regions. What do you think sets the kaupapa Māori model apart in the wider health sector, Regan?
Yeah, well, firstly, we're very proud, of course, to have received this recognition. Humbled, but equally aware that there's a lot of work for us to do in areas that we most certainly can develop. Our service delivery into the community that we're so proud of. In terms of the matters we think that set us apart, it's the ability to fuse the cultural elements and the clinical elements in the delivery of healthcare.
That's very evident right from the get-go. When you ring up on the phone, you get a welcoming kia ora. When you get to the, what I'm talking about, the Mangere Clinic, Regan. So I can sense that. There's a big picture of our old chief from yesteryear as well, Sid Jackson on the wall. And, there's a great cultural pride within the organisation, and certainly that's not evidenced in every medical centre setting. So in that sense, it does, have Turuki standing out. What does being a finalist in categories like customer experience and innovation mean to the kaimahi involved with Turuki, and how many are there now, Regan?
Yeah, so Turuki's just crept over the 300 mark for people in service of the community. It is a matter of great pride, and I hasten to add that this is a recognition of all of those inside of Turuki Healthcare who have touch points into the community that we serve daily, and equally the community that we are so proud to serve. It's a recognition of them. We're deeply aware of the fact that trust is inherent in the delivery of primary healthcare to Whaanau, and we don't take that for granted. And the whānau that entrust us to provide primary healthcare to them and their families are equally recognised through this award.
Well, I want to wish you well. When are the awards taking place? Obviously a finalist, and looking ahead, how might, if you're successful, the recognition shape Turuki's strategic direction going forward, Regan?
Yeah, the awards were held Thursday last week, and we were nominated in categories for community contribution, customer service and innovation, and we were fortunate enough to win the excellence in customer service category. And to that end, it would be relevant to acknowledge 2 Degrees for their support of the awards, the Auckland Business Chamber as well for the recognition that they've afforded us as a clinic. In terms of how it shapes our service delivery model moving forward, we are continuing to take some reasonably significant steps towards the proliferation of technology now across society, but particularly in the delivery of primary healthcare. And that'll be the next steps for us, is just continuing to ensure that the cultural and the clinical elements are infused with the technology as it becomes available.
Tēnā koe. What are some of those technologies? We've got a few minutes until the news comes in, Regan. So talk with us about some of the innovation and the deliberate customer service strategies. For instance, you get your staff and talk to them about the importance of factoring culture in, using reo, etc., in their interactions with clients or whānau members. So this success has come quite deliberately. How do you sort of mould it and champion it and grow it?
Yeah, it has come deliberately in the context of the award category relative to innovation that we were nominated for excellence, and that again was a healthcare model focused primarily on the resolution of long-term conditions, most frequently in the context of our community, the prevalence of diabetes, and that enabled a culturally led model fused with the clinical knowledge and supported in a complementary way by some of the technology. And that was things like GPS tracking of steps that were being taken towards improved health outcomes, real-time biometric data being relayed to those who were engaged in the service to ensure that they could track the progress that was being made then and there. And technologies similar to that are being developed at a great rate of knots, and we want to ensure that we remain available to make the most of the opportunities that technology in primary healthcare provide.
Tēnā koe. What might be some other examples of innovative approaches to health that might just be on the drawing board at the moment, but in order to stay ahead of the curve or ahead of the game, you need to have thinkers who realise potential and at times think outside of the box. I mean, even that example of GPS trackers for those who are dealing with diabetes is innovative in its own right. What other examples might you share of emerging support services to whānau who attend Turuki?
Yeah, it's probably an important time to acknowledge that across the kaupapa Māori health landscape, there's some awesome organisations doing some fantastic work inside of the technology realm, and we're just one of them. But there are some really cool things currently that we're in the process of exploring towards onboarding, and that's around devices that enable a level of connectivity to your general practitioner, some of which are able to be utilised from home. The initial sort of tests involved in the consults that we might regularly undertake are those that you are able to conduct inside of this context yourself, and that provides people with a level of agency over their healthcare, the way in which it's accessed and delivered, and of course, where it's possible, from the comfort of their own homes. So that's a matter that we're looking at the moment, particularly for some of our whānau that may have access-related issues. And then we're also looking into devices currently around the prevalence of concussion, both through sports-related, home-related, work-related incidents inside of our community, and the way in which we can start to build a long-term data profile from points within the brain that enable an improved understanding of the level of compromise that one's exposed to in the context of brain injuries touches our community, but also often leads to issues inside of mental health. And again, that's another issue that brings about all sorts of health-related compromise to those that we serve.
Great talking with you again, Regan, and it's neat to know that you're working with Turuki. As I say, I've been very appreciative of the mahi that many have done across the years, keeping track of this old bod, but there's, I can sense the need, and our community that attend Turuki, they're our people, and this acknowledgement is well deserved. Mihi ana ka koe te rangatira. Great to catch up with you again, Regan ngā mihi.
Kia koe.
Tēnā koe.
Kia koe anō hoki. Kia ora mai tātou.
Thanks so much. Regan Tamahi there with us today, Strategy and Innovation Lead at Turuki Healthcare. Congratulations to them taking up the customer service category in the recent Auckland Business Awards. It's wonderful to have you with us this morning. Thanks so much.